The following may not be suitable for all audiences. Viewer discretion is advised.
Barfly robbed after taking strange woman home. Police are investigating the claims of a 37-year-old man that he was drugged and robbed while passed out at his home in Aranguez. The victim told police that at around 9 a.m. on Thursday, he was at a bar at Mount Lambert Circular where he met a woman. After the two shared a couple of drinks, arrangements were made for the woman to return with the man to his home. The two made their way to the victim's home in Aranguez, where they continued to have alcoholic beverages. The victim told police he fell asleep, and upon waking up around 2 p.m., the woman was nowhere to be found. He soon realized that several items from his home, as well as $6,000 in cash that he kept on his nightstand, were missing. The keys for his vehicle were also missing, and when he went outside, his silver Mitsubishi Lancer could not be located. The police were notified, and a team of officers led by WPC Deganas responded. About 4 hours later, police received a report that the vehicle appeared to have been abandoned nearby. A team of officers led by WPC Francois responded and examined the car for fingerprints and other evidence. The investigation continues. Man erased by close relative during drunken argument. A brotherly relationship between two relatives ended tragically after one erased the other during a dispute in Moruga on Thursday night. Anton Bacchus, 44, also known as Gary, a security guard, was 4 times by a 41-year-old man near the People's Choice Bar at Edward Trace, Bastyr Village. Bacchus died shortly before 2 a.m. while undergoing treatment at the San Fernando General Hospital. Wounds were observed in the chest area and on both arms. The tragedy, however, has left relatives in shock and plunged the whole close-knit community into mourning. Bacchus and the suspect both have 3 children and resided at Edward Trace. Villager Jenny Mohammed, who operates the shop, said she had returned home after attending the funeral of an elderly resident when Bacchus and the suspect came over to find out about how the resident had passed. She said they appeared intoxicated. After explaining what was told to her about the resident's demise, she said Bacchus and the suspect began arguing about the circumstances surrounding her death. Emmanuel said her husband eventually told them to leave for disrespecting their home. When they left her home, however, she said they were hugging each other while walking down the street. Shortly afterwards, she heard a scream, and someone said the suspect had Bacchus. A resident took Bacchus to the Princestown Health Facility in his vehicle. While Emmanuel had a good relationship with both men, she considered Bacchus as a son, describing him as a very good person. She said Bacchus was not involved in bacchanal and confusion. Bacchus's older cousin, Martin Molino, said the incident had them confused, hurt, and in shock. "I never hear them quarrel. No dispute, nothing. I never know them quarreling, nothing. I tell you, all of us used to lime together. We hunt together, we lime together, we cook together, everything. I know that everybody is good. It's a real shock to me and the community," he lamented. Describing Bacchus and the suspect as buddies, Molino said they have no idea what triggered this deadly incident. "2 of them always together, liming and drinking. It hurt me real bad. It is something I will never forget as long as I live," he said. Officers of the Homicide Bureau of Investigation, Region 3, are investigating. An altercation between 2 Moruga men who were described as brothers and buddies ended with one dead and another on the run. Anton Bacchus, 44, also known as Gary, died after he was multiple times on Thursday night and died hours later at the San Fernando General Hospital. Minutes before the incident, The two men were seen hugging each other as they walked along Edward Strait's Bastille where they resided. The suspect fled the scene after the incident, and the community has been left in shock and mourning. Bacchus, a father of 3, was employed as a security guard, while the suspect, also a father of 3, did odd jobs. The homicide toll for the year so far stands at 223 compared to 153 for the same period in 2021. Residents said Bacchus and the 41-year-old suspect were close relatives and were almost always seen together. Martin Molino, a cousin of Bacchus, who is also a close relative of the suspect, commented, "Two of them are buddies, they are family. It is always love. I do not know what caused this to happen. Two of them are always liming and drinking together. This is something I will never forget as long as I live." A police report states that officers were told by a resident of Edward Strait that at around 9:15 p.m. he was at home in his gallery when he observed Bacchus and the suspect fighting in the vicinity of Golden Castle Bar obliquely opposite to his house. The resident reported that he went to break up the fight and observed Bacchus with multiple wounds. With the assistance of another resident, they placed Bacchus in a pickup van and took him to the Princestown Health District facility. The victim was transferred by ambulance to the San Fernando General Hospital for further treatment. However, he was pronounced dead at 1:43 a.m. on Friday. A post-mortem examination is expected to be done at the Forensic Science Center next week. The report said that Bacchus sustained a wound to the left side of his chest, and there were also wounds to both arms. Crime scene investigators retrieved a pair of slippers and shards of glass from the crime scene. Detectives of the Homicide Bureau of Region 3, Inspector Ribeiro, Sergeants Toussaint and Smith, and W.C. Bikram, as well as PCs Ramgobin and Samaru of the Princestown Police Station, also responded. Resident Jenny Emanuel was overcome with grief as she recounted seeing Bacchus and the suspect walking on the road minutes before Bacchus met his demise. Emanuel said on Thursday night, after she attended a funeral of an elderly woman in the community, she returned to her home and saw Bacchus and the suspect in her gallery. She said she believed that the two men were intoxicated, and they began to argue during a discussion on the death of the elderly woman. Emanuel said that her husband told Bacchus and the suspect that they were disrespecting their home and asked them to leave. "They left good. My husband said, 'You see how they are good friends? Watch how they're going up the road, hugging each other,' said Emanuel." The resident said that minutes later, she heard a scream, and people said that Bacchus had been "This is affecting me very badly," Emanuel said. "Gary was a very nice person. I considered him as a son." Molino said that they all used to go hunting together with other men from the community. "All of us usually lime, cook, and drink. That is how we does go down. I do not know what happened to cause this. It is a shock to the whole neighborhood. This is hurting me so much. I could not believe this news this morning. This hurt me so much. The two of them are buddies. They are family. It is always love," he said. Molino said he was told that the two men had an argument, but he did not know what it was over. "I'd never even seen them quarrel before. They never had a dispute. They lived like brothers," he said. Officers of the Princestown CID and Homicide Bureau of Region 3 are continuing investigations. Two brothers with firearm-related charges appear before a Couva magistrate. Two brothers appeared before a Couva magistrate on Thursday, charged with shotting with intent and possession of a firearm. Casey and Jaden De Silva of Orchid Gardens, Pleasantville, were also charged with possession of ammunition and possession of a firearm and ammunition to endanger life. Casey De Silva, 23, was remanded into custody, while Jaden De Silva, 22, was placed on $250,000 bail. He is to report to the police station twice weekly as a condition of his bail, a post to the police social media page stated. The matters were adjourned to June 30. The men were arrested following a police-involved SHOTING incident in the Kuva district on May 26, the Post said. A third suspect was wounded during the incident and was taken to the hospital for treatment. A pistol loaded with a magazine containing 8 rounds of ammunition was allegedly recovered from the scene. Meanwhile, during the anti-crime exercise in the Beeston Street, Belmont and Arouca areas on Thursday morning, officers of the Interagency Task Force executed a search warrant at the Arouca home of a 39-year-old man. This resulted in a pistol loaded with a magazine containing 15 rounds of ammunition, another magazine containing 17 rounds of ammunition, and a box containing 10 rounds of ammunition allegedly being discovered in the house. The suspect, who was present at the time of the exercise, was arrested, the Post said. Investigations are ongoing. The exercise was spearheaded by ACP Jackman, coordinated by Senior Superintendent Subero, and supervised by ASP Ramasar and Coffey. The police is seeking the public's help to locate 13-year-old Peria Suchit. Peria of Backstreet, Cane Farm Road, Arouca, was last seen on June 2. Anyone with information about her whereabouts is asked to contact the Arouca police station at 640-6138. The police can also be reached at 999-555-911, 800 tips, or through any police station. A report can also be made via the TTPS app. 12-year-old Carlina Courtney of Kiskadee Drive, Maloney Gardens is missing and was last seen on June 2. Anyone with information about her whereabouts can contact the Maloney Police Station at 646-6504. The police can also be reached at 999-555-911, 800 tips, or through any police station. A report can also be made via the TTPS app.
Kalina, baby girl, mommy princess. Baby girl, mommy love you, mommy missing you. Mommy love you. Where you are, baby? Who have you, baby? Please call me. Call me, please. I beg. Let me know where you are. I can come for you. I love you, baby girl. Come home. Come home, please.